just in case Diana maybe doesn't get to the finals and we maybe don't get to see a Diana, I think it's a nice little break from seeing the bug infested everywhere.
And it's funny when you're like, you've seen a lot of Kazakhs, and you're like, whoever would have said that?
Too much Kazakhs.
Whoever would have woken up today and been like, Kazakhs on stream a whole lot. Perfect. Which, I mean, we're getting close to... Oh, God, this is such a League of Legends lore thing. We're getting close to Vendetta, and we're in a bracket with Rengar and Kazakhs. I think it is apt.
Yes.
Those two potentially facing off later. It's going to be, as you said, Rengar and Diana. Diana, a deck that I think is... I saw a tweet the other day that was like, Diana is not hard to play. Diana is just hard to win on. Like, you have to be a very good player in order to actually close the games out. It's another one of these decks that's in Alan CQ's play style of like, I'm just a god at the game, and I'll take a million actions, I'll cast a million spells, and be able to close the game out.
Yeah, it definitely takes a particular pilot. Yeah. Coming from a Yi player myself, it doesn't take the biggest mental arithmetic to say, my guy gets +2.
Yes.
Whereas the Diana's got to jump through a lot more hoops to potentially get the same result as maybe a deck that's a little bit more easier to play. Doesn't mean it's easy, but easier.
But when Diana does calculate all of the paths, the trajectory to get through, Diana, very, very difficult, because what looks like a very innocuous low might board state suddenly climbs exponentially into massive amounts of might, and a lot of combat tricks, a lot of ways of playing spells in showdowns to really turn the tide.
So just obviously not at Alan's level, but if we were to look at this matchup and say a Diana into a Rengar, obviously we know the Rengar from seeing it last game is going to have a lot of unit-based combat tricks.
Yes.
Whereas a Diana kind of has a similar thing with its ability to manipulate Tway. To make him very large, and then even if that doesn't work, and is, oh my god, this Rengar's got more might than my Hwei, I've still got all of these tricks in my back pocket to bounce, to move, to flash my unit back, to say, you know what, we'll draw out a lot of your combat tricks, and then we'll just go back to base and home. There's so many toolboxes here that the Diana has that it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and you just get to see so much of your deck. Yeah. Like, even with... can you imagine this deck with Gold Shot?
Don't, please.
Can you imagine how if
don't
you could
take
fill
me
some
back.
more cards?
PTSD.
That would be nuts. But we are getting ourselves close to the game. So close, we can actually go into it right now. As Diana up against Rengar. Matthew appearing on stream. I heard that Matthew came from Lincoln earlier today, so like a 3-hour drive to be here.
So shout out Riftbound at Lincoln, and cheering on Matthew.
And is going back at the end of today to then go play a showdown tomorrow. So, or a skirmish, I should say, tomorrow. So we're in
opening hand from Matthew. That's not what we want to be seeing. I think that was 3 Nidalees.
Two of those can go back.
So Jiang's here is going to have, I imagine he's going to have the ability if he wants to go first or second, because he's the 4th seed over the Rengar.
Of course, highest seed, always beneficial now. Thankfully, they've written that fully into...
And it is quite important, isn't it?
It is.
You know, some other games, not to be mentioned, but the IDing is such a consistent way to maybe get yourself into these top brackets, and then it's kind of a bit of a free-for-all. It is really important to note that, going first in Riftbound does have quite a significant advantage. So being able to say that, I did really well in Swiss, I decided to play my kinds out, I didn't want to draw them out. It does come with a benefit, right? So
I've been mentioning other games all day. Unlike the, Leal or whatever, where I'm like, I probably can't say that word. I'm like, Magic, cool.
Yeah, Magic's so good. Love Commander sick.
I still need to play more free-for-all. I've only played like 2 or 3 games of Riftbound. I'm really intrigued, and I think I'm going to play a lot of 2v2.
I think I want to explore the other formats of Riftbound. Obviously, it's a new game. They're still figuring out. I still think, from what some release notes, is that they do eventually want to make a 5v5 game mode. I
think. That sounds
I think
horrific.
I think it's 2v2s and a 1v1. So then obviously whoever wins 2 out of 3 games and then goes through. It's like kind of like a team format. So
yeah, that's actually quite
I'm
cool.
sure they're going to be cooking something.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a Vex played into the base. So obviously Vex, highest strength when it is at a battlefield, will be able to stun. It shuts off Rengar quite heavily.
Yes, it does,
as a deck. So many of Rengar's units want to arrive just in time. Right as the showdown is happening, put that damage down.
Yeah.
So getting this Vex out and saying, you're going to need to go over the top of this. You need like a challenge or something. Like if Fey Folk was already out, you wouldn't make this play because that Vex would just die on the back end. However, Fey Folk not being here means Vex a little bit safer in this moment, and if it does get to survive through, should be okay.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it earlier with Blevins, like this ridiculously strong card in Vex. You know, they printed this new keyword ambush and the old Rengar. It just completely just says, nope.
Yep.
No, thank you. I don't want to deal with that. So you can see why the card is an addition to Jiang, and possibly we might be seeing some more if this goes into the later games and some sideboard considerations, because it's almost just basically a hard counter to what Matthew wants to do, right?
In some ways, yeah, absolutely. I played a little bit of the Vex matchup into Rengar, into Rengar, the actual Vex into Rengar earlier, and it didn't go so well, but that's mostly a piloting error on my side, but it definitely makes the Rengar think more about like, okay, I have to plan a little bit more of like, for instance, in this moment, Kai'Sa in base.
Yes.
Just saying, well, I'm never going to accelerate it once that Vex goes to the battlefield, but what I can do is put Kai'Sa forward potentially on another turn, either get the card draw or just use it as a big body that is able to trade.
Yeah. Matthew might be considering, okay, right, my ambush possibilities are going to be turned off soon, so if I just try and develop as much as I can in base, let's try and go over the top of this Vex if the opportunity allows me to, right, to get rid of this sticky problem that's going to be annoying for me for the rest of the game.
And Vex reads when I'm at a battlefield, right? Yeah. It's not... So you don't have to control it. It is from this moment now, Vex will be turning off any ambush units for as long as it stays at the battlefield. Yeah. So just thinking about now, of course, Matthew has to consider the rest of this exchange. And Jiang has a lot of cards, a lot of availability of what to play from here. I will say, I've watched games of Diana. This is actually the first game I'm casting from Diana, so it's a slightly different perspective of the seat to be in, where I have to actually think about what's going to happen and not just assume that Alan CQ is going to do everything. Yeah, and I'm like, that's the right play.
Well done. Pretty good at the game.
Yeah, Alan, that's totally what I would have done.
I do like this because it's making Matthew do something. Yeah. And with everything up, Jiang can bait out loads of stuff and then go, cool, Starcross, see you later. You've used loads of cards, you've tried to buff it up, and if not, I just gain a unit, gain a point, and Vex is on the battlefield. So either way, Jiang's really happy with this situation. He's started to stem the flow of the points. He still had all of these runes up to react to any possibilities that Matthew maybe wanted to do.
And I have to feel like Diana is a deck that will take advantage of Targon's Peak liberally.
Yes,
just
literally.
Pay out everything, just spend everything, and still have 2, and 2 will do quite a lot on Diana's turn. So see where we go on this exchange. It is going to be Diana from the chosen champion zone. And just pass and say, okay, I could spend more, or I'll have all 5 up. Not scary at all.
No, they definitely don't have loads of things to interact with me. Second Kai'Sa here, which can't be accelerated, unfortunately. A lot of the answers that Matthew might conventionally have if he wants to remove an annoying unit without engaging in full-on combat, the stuff like the challenge and stuff, all the kind of normal Diana answers of like bouncing and manipulating might. Challenge is it's not a... It doesn't really matter if it's a challenge or if it's a showdown, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like all of the answers that Diana still have is still going to cause a massive problem for Matthew here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple ways that Matthew can maybe play around that and cause a backfire. If there's like a thrill of the hunt, you force out a bunch of spells and then dodge the combat. But we also now are in a different position for Matthew where for in the previous game, Matthew was looking at like playing against Defy and things. Now we've got the likes of Hard Bargain, Abandon potentially in the mix as well. Again, not the best against the unit heavy deck of Matthew, but still has to consider that for things like Hard Bargain will catch punch first, Abandon will catch punch first. Like there's a lot of things that will get turn a bit of a corner in those situations.
Just taking a moment to admire the same runes on Jiang here. Those Spirit Blossom runes do look rather spectacular.
I am such a chaotic player. I play mismatch runes to trigger my opponents.
No.
Yes, I do.
That would get me.
Different printings.
I can't handle it.
Some foils. It riles people up so much.
That would be me. Like,
See, I've already won.
Yeah,
at that point. We sit down and play and I'm already in your head. I'm already there.
Oh, dear.
It's the equivalent of the old Channel Fireball deck box in Magic, where like the person that shows up with the beaten and battered like cardboard box of a deck box, you're like, ooh, he's the one I got to avoid.
Yeah.
Person with a brand new like expensive deck box, they don't know what they're doing.
Has not been opened as much as it should have been.
Hasn't been slung in a bag and traveled thousands of miles to go to a tournament.
So Matthew's just decided to just develop another Kaiser. I think it's the best of the worst at the moment here, because I mean he's tapped out here, so I'm not even a massive fan of just even considering sending this Kaiser in against his specs. I think you just have to admit that it's probably just a development turn here and just be passing it over.
Yeah, I mean Diana will turn a 2-might difference really quickly.
Extreme,
There's so many different options, and at that point you're giving resources over.
Yeah. Losing too much material for free, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem is, in the previous match, we were looking at a Jax, and you're like, well, there's not massive amounts of card draw.
Yeah.
So there's not too many options that can go back to back to back to back. This type of deck archetype with Diana, there's a lot of predict to see what's on top of the deck. There's a lot of, card draw off things like, if there's stupefies, that type of thing in the deck, like easy ways of going one spell into another.
It's got loads of cantrips.
Yeah, you got, stack deck,
decks,
that type of thing. Yeah, and even then, you think you've won an exchange and then they flash out.
Yeah.
Like that type of thing.
It's just going to bait you out of all your resources and go, nope, see you later on.
Very much so. And then we have to think about like Moonfall and how that can affect multiple pieces of combat, or at least multiple units at one combat.
It's almost like an endless sea of possibilities.
Truly. Actually really scary.
It's
really scary.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing my little bit of Yi. When I'm like sitting across the donut, I'm like, yeah, you can do it. I've got my camel. I'm all right. Let's go.
Oh my God, the camel will just sit there.
Let's go. Let's see what you can do against this big guy.
I will say, I have decision paralysis when I play things like Diana or Ezreal.
No, that's not for me.
I'm like, I don't want to have that many options. Like a good mid ground of some options.
Well, if I'm fanning my cards in my hand and it's getting to the point where I've got like 10 cards in hand, I'm like, I'll just be thinking forever. I
cannot wait for them to print a spell that like limits card draw, or a unit that limits card draw, and then like so you can invert timelines and then cause your opponent not to draw. That is one of my favorite Magic combos of all time.
Okay,
it's like, you get 1 card, I get 7.
It's definitely going to happen, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different mechanics that we still can go into, and so many in this game that Jiang can decide between. This, of course, is untimed round. We are in top cut, so
slightly untimed. Take a little bit of time.
Matthew does have a skirmish tomorrow and has to drive to it, so I'm going to assume untimed is a concept rather than a reality. I mean, we can't be here till tomorrow.
No, quite not literally. There is still, I guess, a standard of play that should be upheld between the two players, but technically, untechnically, untimed.
Technically not. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. People don't have to go home or anything. We can stay here playing Riftbound forever. It does. Okay. So Tide Turner.
Yep.
So Vex. I mean, at this point, Matthew's tapped out. So
Yep.
Vex not being on the battlefield isn't the biggest issue. But now, of course, you want to be able to move it. Do you take it with the Diana as well? No, just the Vex on its own, plus the Diana Legend.
With 2 tapped.
And there's the Moonfall we talked about. So we'll be able to... that is harsh.
That is potentially very rough.
That is really painful
Yeah.
to go, minus, minus, minus.
So that's a 2, right? So it becomes a 1.
0.
Does it go
Because,
zero? No
Moonfall
minimum,
doesn't
yep.
read to a minimum. It's one of those ones that...
Oh my god.
Oh, that's brutal. That's actually brutal. Wow. That is a full blowout.
Yeah.
Oh, double Moonfall.
That is so gross.
How do you come back from that?
I don't even know if it's possible.
Ooh.
I think that's the biggest blowout we've seen all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, because at this point now you've got no ability. Oh, looking at the hand as well. You've got no ability to refill that number of
and you
of
know
units.
that you just can't play Rengar from your champion zone.
No,
It's
you
just-
can't. The best you can do is play it in the base and
it's
then
just-
hope.
This is like nightmare fuel.
That really is nightmare fuel. Wow, that feels horrific.
Yeah, it's such a big blowout.
Can understand why Jiang was thinking it through just to make sure
Yeah.
the
He had
exact
all-
sequencing of
yeah.
getting every single unit.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's too many players that would have looked at that and said, Jiang's going to clear everything, and Matthew just won't be able to. So it's going to be Darius with a challenge. It's going to... So because it's not combat, it
Yes.
will deal the damage.
Yes.
Darius is still stunned and is still unable to move this turn, but will deal the damage to
Yes.
the Vex. We're getting all them niche interactions today.
I feel like I could pass my judge exam after today.
I don't think I would still. No, I hope I would at this point. Part of me is like, I don't want to do it just in case.
So at least some sort of severance of, yippee, is that the Vex is no longer there. Our ambush units are looking a little bit more appealing now throughout the rest of this game.
Yep, very true.
At least a small win.
Yes, and Darius is always scary.
Yeah.
Always has presence.
But sometimes those small wins accumulatively lead to a comeback, don't they? So you've got to start somewhere.
Exactly, and we saw Matthew play very clean through games, the majority of the top 8 round. Fair to say, the decision on ambush is always, significant, regardless of even if it feels like it's a throwaway. You're like, okay, how do I maximize the most out of every single point of might? Okay, Hui.
Just the best unit in Diana's deck.
Hui with, who thought that putting this many modes on a unit would have any kind of problem?
Aphelios could never, right?
No, I know, right? Aphelios is looking at it like, really? I'm supposed to be the angsty one.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so.
It's just it's so clean from this Diana. There's no risk now. Like, everything's back in base. I've got point tempo. It's almost like do your worst. I got 3 up.
And this is one of the things about Matthew's deck and what we saw from Sam Sherman in Vancouver is like this deck is really good where you can just sneak an extra point here and there, but then still threaten the ambush. It's when you have only like 1 or 2 options to play out.
Yeah.
You're like, I really don't want to move this Darius up to a battlefield if I don't have to. Like, I don't really want to like go all in on 1 point, but I have to keep tempo. I have to move on with the game. It is a difficult spot to be in for Matthew, but we've seen him play out of the previous series as well.
Yep. He's definitely going to take his time and think through, what's the best possible thing I could do here. Obviously, going into Targons is the more appealing of the two here. At least he can ready some runes and
be able to get that untapped.
threaten some shenanigans.
Yep, Darius will move into Targons and say, please don't have anything. Please don't have anything more. You're like, surely your good draws have run out now with your 2 Moonfalls.
James just gives him a pity point.
Go to 4. You can go to 4. That's all right.
I'll allow it.
Will there be a follow-up here from Matthew? Only 2 in hand.
Yeah.
So...
hand size is quite rough.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about a little bit before. Without the Nidalee, without the Kaisers, like, that's the 3 units that died.
They were there.
Yeah, that's actually, you're looking at your hand like, yeah, but a Nidalee and 2 Kaisers, I'm going to draw lots of cards. And suddenly...
oh no, what's happened? They're all dead. Yeah, not great. There's not going to be much card drawing left from this Rengar.
No, most of it is now in the trash already.
You can maybe pray for some Kinko Initiates to at least go even on cards. The thing is, sometimes when you're in these positions, especially if this was a more conventional timed, it's like, at this point, it's like, what am I? I've got 2 cards in hand with all my runes up. There can't be a massive amount to think about here.
Yeah,
it's more of a...
That's fair.
Sometimes when you're like, I'm in an inevitably doomed situation, it feels like sometimes if I take my time, I can find a line when really
there's not a whole lot.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Whereas at this point, when you are untimed, you get to be a bit more like, okay, I really need to think what's the worst case scenario for the next couple turns. It is difficult when there are just so many options for this Diana deck. If you're playing against Aurora, you just start slamming things. And it's whether you get Mind Splitter or Elder off the top. That's all I care about.
Yeah. My 1 of Mind Splitter or my 3 big giant dragon that's going to say, you die, and you die.
I pulled a Baron Nashor, like one of my pre-rift kits.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So I was playing Aurora with Baron Nashor, and the number of times I pulled it and lost the game the next turn. So I was like, that's not the unit I want.
I played a little bit of it right at the start of the set, and I had it in the sideboard against these purple decks. I was like, you know what? If I find this at the start, I'm not too unhappy.
Yeah.
They might have to use a lot, and they can't bounce it,
But then you have the Aurora games where you do hit the Elder, and you're like, oh, well, this is way better.
Yeah, this is really good.
I'm like, damn it, I don't want to see Baron ever.
Yeah.
As I feel like we might be a little too far in the tank. At this point,
there's really not much we can be considering here.
All I'd say is that
I think.
Oh, our camera may have frozen.
I think our camera has frozen.
And that's why.
Because I'm seeing a Rengar player there with his 2 hands under his chin and then a frozen hand.
Yeah.
Billy, the screen's froze. Like the actual gameplay.
Yeah, we will...
Some technical difficulties.
We'll get the camera back on for you in a second.
We're like, oh, this guy's in the tank really long. We just get the
I know, whereas our players are actually making game actions. We're over here slating them. Like, God, these players.
God, they're so slow. God, I'm falling asleep.
It's like, wow, he's been pondering over these 2 cards.
Just us.
It's been a long day, in the best of ways.
Yeah.
I do not begrudge a long set of games.
There we go.
Yeah, there we are back.
Okay. This has changed a little bit. Whoa.
Let's play catch up. It's all good. We are. It's just one of those like spot the difference. Guess what happened? Middle bit.
What's played? So we've got a Kaiser, we've got a Pike, we've got Darius challenging into Targons with Tide Turner and Diana.
A lot did happen.
A lot happened, yeah.
I was like, wow, what are they even thinking about? Turns out 5 game actions.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking about. So hopefully we can summarize at the end of this. I don't particularly want to speculate too much on how we got here.
Jiang's on 5 points, so he's got the point lead now.
Yes.
And a full fledgling of runes available for use.
It's going to be a gust. Because the pike... I'm assuming the pike was played now.
Yeah.
So I believe you can react to it before the trigger?
Yeah, we're not sure if that's been revealed from hidden or if that's been played accelerated. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah.
So in anyway, regardless, the gust.
I still think even if the pike is revealed or played with the, obviously if it's revealed from the battlefield, it becomes unhidden, and you decide to put the +2. I do think there's still a reaction window
there's a
there.
Trigger that goes on the stack on the chain. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It may have been as well.
You can still gust it. So maybe Matthew was just thinking, I won't even bother to +2 it because what's the point? But I don't know if we don't know if he did or not.
Yes, but nevertheless, it's back in hand.
Yeah.
Now. So we move on in that situation.
So you can thank the Diana, but thank you for letting me draw a card, Diana, is what I'd be saying there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, that even trade.
Yeah. I'm not too unhappy about that. We've got rid of
especially with that
Diana.
many runes up on Diana. You have to feel like a little bit of a whiff on that.
Potentially. We've still got the most important unit, the MVP.
Yeah. It's hard to know without the... it's hard to know without the lead up to it.
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to find the Moonfall?
Is this a Starcrossed or is it Moonfall? I'm trying to think.
You can Moonfall the Kai'Sa in and have it the third Kai'Sa dying to Moonfall. Yeah. Or will move Moonfall to the top of the trash.
Jiang's just thinking, do I want to do that now?
Nope.
Just deciding. I'll take that back.
Technically, moving a card to the top of your trash is not new information.
Maybe I should have had a look beforehand.
It's actually just, it's the pen trick. It's the bait. Like, I'm going to make you think I'm going to Moonfall. And actually...
I'm just letting you know I've got a fix.
Yeah, just to let you know. Sending a message.
At some point, it's going to come.
2 of these Moonfalls? No.
How about 6?
Fizz is one of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Flexibility of it is ridiculous. We saw it being used to good effect in one of the Kha'Zix games earlier in the day.
Tide Turner, Hui Trigger.
Yep.
What are we discarding? What are we doing?
I'm assuming Jiang's taking it back because he wanted to do this move to then
discard
put something specifically that he wants to repeat.
Replay. Yeah. So probably a spell then in that regard. Get the draw and replay whatever it was.
I would imagine so.
Oh, it's going to be a unit, a Ravenbloom. So we'll just give it +3 this turn. So I guess...
Ride the Wind?
Is it Ride the Wind and then you Moonfall with the Fizz just to make sure you go over the top? Because there's a lot of runes available.
There is, yeah.
And
there's no Vex, so we've still got all of our ambush options as well, right?
And that means Kai'Sa can't get punch firsted to go over the top of Hui, because Hui already had +3 from an earlier discard that we didn't see, so he's now sitting at 11. So if it is Ride the Wind plus the Moonfall that we're already inferring from the Fizz, that would be able to go through it all. How do you? Whoa.
Is it just a pass?
Just a pass.
Just a pass. Interesting. Maybe Jiang is really not happy with his hand, potentially.
Yeah. I'm going to assume the other half of that. We didn't see the turn coming into it.
Yeah, it's hard to infer at the best of times when you're looking at a Diana, let alone
my assumption in that regard is that the battlefield had already been scored.
Yes, potentially, because when we come back to it, there was the showdown, wasn't there, that battlefield? But there's a potential.
We can't say for certain, just from how it was. That would be my inference of that would probably be why you're not committing to it.
Makes
you
a
don't
lot
care
of sense,
that much
doesn't it?
just to kill the Kai'Sa.
Nah. It makes sense because I think Jiang was on 3, so going from 3 to 5. It makes a little bit of sense,
Yeah, okay.
I think so. We'll go with that.
Oh no, when we trust me, I feel uncertain and scared.
That's where it all goes downhill.
I know. Because now we get to go all the way back to Origins and have Kai'Sa drawing cards, maybe. Who knows?
Yes.
You have to win the combat and survive first. So, that is going to be Kai'Sa going to Targon's Peak.
He says, are you going to let me draw a card, good sir? Please, I need it.
Thinking.
So we could Ride the Wind Hui in.
Which will give you the trigger. And then you can
score
at
my
least...
opponent's battlefield. We have just chucked a unit away already, right? Which I think is the mode of buffing the Hui.
It is exactly.
Yeah.
But then you're also in the territory of like anything like a stupefy.
Yeah.
That type of thing ends up affecting things. But 2 cards in hand for Matthew leaves options of, could be combat tricks, could be... and it's not just 2 cards in hand. It's also a Rengar in the Chosen
Always a
Champion
Rengar
zone.
ready.
So that's the other thing
just
you
going to
have
let him
to
have
play
it.
against.
Yeah. So what have we got?
Okay.
I think that was a Pit Rookie and a Fey Folk was 2 out of 3, essentially.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't see what the last card is.
It was a Pike, right? It got gusted?
Yes, you are correct, yes.
So we have the information on hand.
Yeah.
Jiang will know that the Pike is there.
Yeah. I would be surprised to see if Matthew's going to maybe go a little bit aggressive with this Pike. I'd imagine, even though he probably absolutely wants to go to 6 points, I don't. With how much Jiang's got up, that would be a scary prospect to potentially invest so much to try and capture this other battlefield.
Just developing the Fey Folk in the back line. Problem with Fey Folk in this situation is you really don't want Hui moving.
Okay, we're gonna hide the Pike, which Jiang obviously knows what the card is.
Yeah, now Matthew's hellbent.
Yeah.
So really full information on the game for Jiang and
no cards in hand.
No cards in hand, exactly.
So these already ruined, so not even bluffing anything, are they?
I realise that's a term that maybe Magic uses of hellbent. It's not, people don't use it often. There's a couple of decks that rely on it, but yeah, that's in my vocabulary of random terms from other games that I don't know whether we're using yet in Riftbound.
He's trying to start.
It's fine. I've given up on things like there's other mechanics like Cascade that people in this game have a definition for. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll play more.
I'll play your game.
Nobody's done no cards in hand mechanic yet. So we'll see. Maybe it'll catch on. Who knows? I'm not bothered either way. Either way, as this really is like the world is your oyster. Okay, we're having a judge call off screen. They're close enough that
they are quite close to us.
I actually can't hear them.
They've come down towards the bottom end of the store to talk, ask a question to the judge off stream.
And that's something we talked a little bit earlier about. Talking to judges and asking for text and stuff like that. If you need to know a ruling, and it is to do with the rules, and you're a new player to card games, judges are there not only to make rulings, but to advise only on the rules themselves if you have a question. Yeah. So you can't ask, like, what should I do in this spot?
You can't be like, if I first punch a guy and then he tries to gust it. Oh, no, it wouldn't work because the might's now increased, right? Yeah. You can ask, like, rules-based questions of how stuff... Some people can be... even though it's not intentional or not, some people can ask questions that might infer coaching rather than judging. That's
exactly. Which is a hard line to balance.
It is.
I've heard some judges say that like the best judges will not guide you to the right question, but will not just take your first question and say, can't answer that and let you go. Because there is a middle ground.
There is.
Judges have a lot of responsibility on not giving you the wrong ruling as well, because that will have quite an issue. No Hui, 2 Hui, as... that's going to be a lot of card draw.
Yeah, it
is.
A
lot of utility.
We're on the lovely 6 points that we always want to be on. So Jiang's obviously kind of preparing himself potentially for the next turn here. Something
that again, newer players reading the very specifics of Hui. Hui states when I move, draw 1, discard 1, then do the following based on the discarded card's type. So 1 Hui will only trigger itself. You won't get... That's right? You won't get double Hui triggers off because one has done it. So it's one of those weird ones where some people might be like, I've discarded a card with Hui, therefore it applies. No, triggers, that is not how that works. It says when I move.
The peripheral eye. Because I am Hui.
Ah.
So then if I move, I get to draw 2. No, you're not allowed to do that.
It's a weird one. There's a lot of rules that I think people look at and aren't always intuitive.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm looking at cards, things on a broadcast, I'm always a bit like, okay, where might people come unstuck on things like that you might not think about?
Sometimes reading the card actually doesn't explain the card. That old pseudonym.
So true.
Yeah, so
it's so true.
Sometimes that's why judges are there for you. You can always ask the question, if I move with Hui, do I get 2 because I've got 2 of them? No, it's individual to the card that you're moving.
Oh, that would be broken if it did. That would be disgusting.
Yeah.
But it is not that.
Yes. Luckily.
So, Irresistible Fey Folk.
Yeah, so obviously Matthews needs to try and hold something here now.
Yeah.
From 7 to 8, but...
So now it's like, do you have to kind of go while Jiang has lower economy? Only 3?
3 up, yeah. It's definitely a possibility to try and hold as much as you can now.
But also, it might not only be 3 up. Because, for instance, Hui does have the... I mean, I'm guessing you don't run many gear in Diana, actually. I'm going to check the deck list. I feel like you're probably not.
I think there might be a shovel in the sideboard for mirrors or like just these really grindy Ezreal Diana games. I think that's the only thing I could probably think of that they might use as a little bit of a spicy sideboard, but
that would be terrifying if Scrap Heap was
still. Please no. That's the only thing I can really think of is if we're in a really grindy game, mirror, purpley mirror, then shovel is very valuable there.
There are actually some cards that Diana's run that are dead cards in the beginning. Like, we know that Diana's tend to run like acceptable losses, for instance.
Yeah.
So there are some that could very well be what Jiang has drawn into, where you're like, I've got to get rid of this.
Yeah, if it's going to be similar to the Allen list, which was, I'm not going to say copied, but shall we say heavily inspired from the Chinese list, that Allen ended up winning his second RQ on. That did, obviously, I think it main decked acceptable losses and turned to dust, right?
Yeah.
So,
but Allen definitely is... there's one change, and it's because in his 1001 game, it's like, that worked really well.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. So obviously, like you said, those cards they're just not useful because Rengar's not running anything. So
Jiang on 6 can threaten lethal. Only 1 card for Matthew in hand. Hui moves forward into the first battlefield. Has the might advantage for now. We know there's a Rengar in the chosen champion zone. Would leave Matthew with 3 runes available. So there are quite a few options.
Pitching a Fizz, this is going to increase
Hui's might. Yep, that will go up to 8. That is already very strong.
Scary, isn't it?
And you drew a new option.
It's not bad. I just don't know what Matthew could have. I think, is he still playing 1-card gaming?
Yeah.
Just top decking for life?
Yeah, still top decking. I mean, the Pike is on the other battlefield. We got the Rengar, but I haven't been paying enough attention to know what the card in hand is.
The only thing I can think of that's going to help Matthew massively is going to be a Rengar and a Punch First, really.
Yeah. But even then,
just 1 card and the amount of resources he's got,
it could easily, from Jiang's side, be like Smokescreen.
Yep.
If it's run, I mean, Starcross is also there, right? Yeah. Like both of those cards kind of mess up.
We haven't really seen any combat tricks from Jiang, have we? And we definitely know, like you said, smoke screens, eclipses.
I'll be honest, we haven't really seen many cantrips at all, which means the hand is likely full of them.
Stacked, stupefiers, like you said, it's just going to be none of these cards that we've seen at all so far. You know, there is a possibility at this high level of like, right, can I? This might be incredibly greedy. Can I win without even showing these cards? Do I even want to show Matthew the possibility that I'm running Eclipse over Smokescreen or Smokescreen over Eclipse or 3 Stupefiers? You know, if I can feel like I can get the game without showing him these cards, Matthew might think, I haven't seen any of this.
Yeah,
right?
It's possible. I mean, Jiang's played the game without showing us the majority of
loads of cards. Any of his cards.
But I guess I'd just say there are some staples that you just got to assume are in there, right? And you're not going to be able to count the full number. And then sideboarding is happening.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is too far past the realm of possibility to just start slamming things. I'm assuming it's Matthew's priority. I'm assuming so, as we are just in a situation where thinking through, what are my outs? I only have 2 cards. It's going to be turning 5. 5 to the side. Oh, 1 orange. There aren't many other options.
Looks to me like a Rengar.
If it looks like a Rengar, and it sounds like a Rengar, and it smells like a Rengar,
it's going to be a Rengar. It is, in fact, not a plane or a bird.
it is a Rengar leaping. They should have made an interaction with the bush. If you're playing Ivan's bush,
that would have been
the Rengar
such a cool
can
interaction.
Leap.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It's got a pseudo ganking if it goes from bush to bush.
Exactly that.
So Starcrossed here, which
that
I
shuts
think,
the game down.
I think that's going to be the end here.
I mean, it has to, right? Because you can't replay the Rengar. I don't really know what would be in hand that could do more, and you have to feel like Jiang. If Jiang has no more options in hand, something has gone horrifically wrong on the draws. 3 cards.
He's perfectly sculpted his hand to what he wants it at this
so
point, right?
Thrill of the Hunt then is what's in hand from 2. Rengar is going to flicker, as we call it in Magic, so we'll avoid the return from Starcross. But if there's a hard bargain in hand, that would be...
Good night, Vienna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this because it just invalidates the target of Starcross, essentially, doesn't it?
It does, exactly that.
And does it give Rengar another buff, or does it lose its buff because
it
it
loses
leaves?
its buff because it leaves, so it'll come back in.
It's not like a recall.
No, it physically gets banished and comes back in.
So it still gets the 1 buff from essentially being replayed again for free.
But now we're into like the rest of Jiang's hand.
You would imagine that there's got to be something, and there's nothing left for Matthew here, so Jiang's just got to find a way to deal with this amount of might here. Eclipses, smoke screens.
Yeah.
Another Starcross.
Ride the wind. To move the other Hui. Yeah, to move Hui back.
Interesting.
Okay.
So rather than moving Hui in to...
yeah, because then I guess you can't contest the second battlefield as much.
Yeah, makes sense.
We'll get a draw discard. It tells me that Jiang's hand is not as strong as we would expect it to be.
It's not
However,
sculpted.
Tide Turner gets discarded. Hui is readied again. Now can look to take a second bite at the apple of going back in. It's what's on the spell level? 2, 3, 6, 9, 10 on the lower battlefield, and then it's Pike on the other one, so 10 and 10 on each.
Yeah, basically 10 and 10.
Which means that Jiang does need to find either another unit or combat tricks to go through the Fizz and the Hui. This will go through this battlefield. We'll discard a...
Looks like a turn to dust.
So we'll look to get another draw. Again, one of the dead cards in this matchup.
Yeah, like
or at least, it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it doesn't do anything.
Happy to get rid of that one, aren't we?
We'll take a draw from that. Passes priority. Matthews doesn't actually have anything to think about here.
Not massively.
I mean, has no cards in hand, no rune available. It's purely just, do you play the Pike or not, right? Am I missing something?
There is no cards left in Matthew's hand, so...
So it's just whether you Pike or not. And maybe it is... I'm assuming Jiang has pass priority here. So but if you play the Pike, you put +1 and it will trade against Hui.
Yes.
Because Pike entering the battlefield is going to
trigger Rengar.
So you have to.
Yeah, you do.
You have to at this point.
And you just pay the red.
And if Jiang has a cantrip on top of it, then it is what it is. If it's a Stupefy, if it's a smoke screen, anything like that, then that is going to be that combat going over to Jiang. Yes. So now you're just saying, we either trade or I mean, it really does matter what Jiang has in hand now, depending on it, is that there's a Stupefy. Okay,
Yeah.
that shuts that out, and then is likely to be enough to close out on the second battlefield. So 10. Yep, that is.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
got-
Shows the unit for the discard. Yeah, that is a tricky game one going over to Jiang. I think, even though we are in untimed rounds, this is part of the discussion we were having about Diana being kind of tricky to play out.
It is,
to close a game where you're like, I have to go sequence by sequence, the right card at the right time discarded for Hui.
Like you said earlier, Diana's maybe not hard to play, but it's hard to win. Like you said, it matches that. You need that perfectly sculpted hands to get to the point where you're in the last couple of turns of the game to be like, okay, this is my winning line. I need to find my winning line. And Jiang was able to find it, taking the first game here.
Yeah, I mean, the winning line being double moonfall.
Considering that happened in this game, it was 7-7.
Yeah, that's how close that game was.
That shows you that Rengar's no joke.
Yeah.
And it was a complete, he lost 4 units for 2 cards.
And
that's ridiculous.
4 significant units. As
massive
well.
cards.
Or at least
that are
3
gonna
significant.
Be replenishing hands and giving me cards. So that was, considering how much, like I said, that was probably the biggest blowout we've seen of all day, of the whole day. The fact that the game was still very close, very, very close, it just shows you the strength of this Rengar deck.
So now the only thing for Matthew is this gets quite a lot trickier when Jiang says, okay, outgo all of my cards that do nothing in this matchup, and I will put in useful cards. There's, I don't want to talk about it too loudly because, as I've said it a little bit earlier, the room is thinning out now, which means that information could potentially be pulled through hearing, so we'll wait till we see some of the cards. But certainly there are duplicates of the main deck that are not being fully run that could come in. Cards we've already seen, going up to 3 copies of them potentially. And then the Gear Hate comes out. You don't really need to focus on that in this matchup. Whereas for Matthew, I'm like, oh, how do you play around this? Because you got to get rid of the Hui. Without the Hui, this matchup is probably more manageable.
I think from one of the cards that I would expect to come in that we saw in the last best of 3 would probably be Bryn here. It's going to be a nice card to shut off a lot of trickery that Diana wants to be doing. So I'd expect that to come in probably at a minimum, and maybe if there's some extra copies of Sabotage in the side, maybe we want to do that to start picking apart Jiang's hand and being like, nah, don't want that second Moonfall, or no, I don't want you to have that Star-Crossed.
Yeah, I'm looking
to start picking apart Jiang.
What else is there? I think Sabotage is pretty much likely to come in. Sadly, things like so this Diana version that I've seen so far is not really the type of deck you want to bring in like Unyielding Spirit in.
No,
you haven't seen a lot of direct damage. There is some, but probably not worth the
not massively
sideboard.
Conventional, is it?
Exactly.
To have a lot of the maybe like the common blue removal we might see.
That means a lot of this Rengar sideboard is like anti-gear, anti-direct damage. Little like challenge is probably one of the more useful parts of this, like challenge and sabotage, to pick apart the game plan. But they're not like, okay, now I win this matchup kind of cards. You still have to set up the board state the way you want it. So Arena's Greatest and Abandoned Hall going to be the 2. I mean, this is the Diana battlefield through and through, where you're like, I'm just gonna cast spells, make my unit bigger, and hope that you can't.
It's
compete.
interesting to. I haven't seen massive amounts of Diana. Is this common for this to be the go second battlefield? I'm not sure. Just in regards to the order of what Jiang wants to play out, or maybe potentially the third battlefield that Jiang's got. He thinks is so good going first that he can afford to have. This battlefield going second.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a consideration this would be as well, but it's a battlefield that Rengar's not going to benefit from.
It's very true,
or at least, very true. Very limited amount of benefit. compared to what Diana is going to get, and
That's
it will
a
be
fantastic
Diana
point,
first. No Fey Folk turn 1 allows you to do this Diana. Again, that's always like the almost the rock paper scissors of like, if you Fey Folk, I'm not going to put a good unit down. I'm just going to play something like probably like you'd love to student here if a Fey Folk was there. But. We are. Again, if you've recently joined us, we're in our top 4 of the Spellbound Showdown.
And in the other top 4, the fresh listeners, we have a Kha'Zix mirror. So we're guaranteed to have a Kha'Zix in the final. We'll be joined by the winner of this best of 3.
Yeah, Jiang is 1 round away, or 1 match, I should say. 1 game away. It's been one of those long rounds after a long round.
The pace of play has dropped a little bit in top 8.
And the previous round was like a 95
It was like a 90-minute game,
match.
So it's been a long day.
Bear with us if we take a moment just to collect our thoughts and try not to say something stupid.
I'm pretty sure I've been doing that all day.
I know, that's been my career for 15 years. Try not to say dumb things.
Make it till you make it.
Inevitably, you will say something. I've said many a stupid thing on broadcast, so it happens. It happens to us all. So Diana is going to go in as the aggressor here on the showdown. We'll reveal.
That's not a bad.
Of all the cards to reveal, you're like, yes, I'm going to reveal 1 card, and it's actually going to let me see 3 cards and pick the best option from it. So
1 card, give me 1 card, give me 3 cards, give me 1 card.
Stack Deck is such a good card.
It's such a beautiful card.
That is like the most basic statement I'm ever going to make. But you know what? I'll take it. Every single time I cast Stack Deck, I'm like, this card is free.
We're only spitting facts out here at Spellbound. Stack Deck is a good card.
We got an update from our other semi-final. Kha'Zix won.
Spoiler.
I know,
Spoilers. What the hell?
Although I will say, this is my first time here at Spellbound, so I'm not quite as familiar with all the locals. But everyone here is lovely.
Yes.
Having a great time as we see a Ravenbloom student come down on to the arena's greatest. And that is a deceptive amount of might from Diana plus Ravenbloom.
Ravenbloom is never too might.
No, it never is.
That thing is fraudulent.
It has the sleight of hand that even if you hit it with a stupefy, it stays the same might. Not that you should be, but
Yeah.
Set 1, I feel like we were all doing that at some point. We're like, I just want to draw a card. Give me the card.
Yeah. That was a common tactic. Just let me have the card. So it's interesting to see that Jiang decided, you know what, I'm going to go Arena's Greatest. I'm not going to go to the other battlefield. Deciding to pick his poison over there.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I'm trying to think of the reasoning for doing it.
Yeah.
I wonder whether you're just trying to avoid the combat this turn. You don't want to get like niddlied or something.
Right.
If I was Matthew, is that in making me infer that Jiang's hand is not equipped to deal with a niddly, for instance, right now?
Yeah.
That's like the only reason I could.
Yeah, you could think Jiang feels maybe his hand's too weak to even want to contest, essentially.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
It is, yeah.
But that is one of these things where you have to delve deep as a player.
Yeah.
In like a top 4 match. Is you're like, why is my opponent doing that? It seems so innocuous. It seems so nothing on its own. But the more you think about it, it's like, is this a hand read? Is it just random?
Yeah.
Everyone's got a reason for doing everything at this stage.
Yeah.
When you have the time to think about things. As I look at the clock, and it is nearly 9:30.
Yes.
Have a moment where I am taken aback how quickly it has gone from 6 o'clock to 9:30.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, it does, absolutely.
There we go. They're seeing the flash there just to save all of our units there.
Yeah, we'll pull them back and then move them forward. So now we'll contest.
Yeah,
The
allows
second
us
battlefield
to.
now with a stack deck, and because we are now at the battlefield, so we'll be able to target it.
Yeah.
Raven Bloom student's going to get +2.
This, I can tell you, it's not only going to stay there. I'd imagine there's a couple more coming, isn't
Especially
there?
when you just stack deck as well.
And you don't even decide to move the Diana in it as well.
No,
that's
like,
quite scary.
I know I can handle this.
Yeah, this is a solo-only mission.
Abandoned Hall will only proc that once, though.
Yes.
So it's not the exponential doubling effect.
Yeah. It's not Aurelia, fortunately.
No, that would be really scary. That would be very, very scary.
So maybe Jiang's just thinking, just trade unit for unit here, or maybe just get the might thresholds to where Matthew's going to have to answer with something.
Matthew's really thinking about
He's in the
this
tank, yeah.
Again, though, it's the kind of situation where this is the entire day for Matthew now will have built up to this.
Yeah, this moment.
This decision, because if you overcommit, you basically are freezing yourself out of this series. If you undercommit, you're probably losing ground.
Correct. Yeah. I think, like we mentioned earlier, this is the prize money rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
These players aren't just. This isn't the difference between a skirmish bar or not. This is the difference between one box and a whole case. That's a significant difference, right? Of the prizing structure of how tournaments like this work. So there's a lot on the line. You're gonna be a little bit stressed. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be fatigued. You're gonna be all these things that will be going around for Matthew and being like, well, if I make 1 inch of a mistake, this Diana player is gonna run me over essentially.
And again, it's down to like this matchup of if we were playing against a deck that had fewer decisions to make, like an Aurora or something like that, and I'm the Aurora player, so I'll I'll say that about myself. You'd probably be able to work quite quickly through those sequences. But when you're looking at 5 runes available on a Diana, knowing Diana can draw into things, knowing Diana can continue to put things in onto the chain throughout a showdown, it's really hard to say, oh, maybe you could play a bit faster.
That's why we're here and they're over there.
Exactly. So I feel like this is Matthew forcing out some combat tricks here.
Yeah.
Oh, actually just saying I'm going to niddly.
Just sending it.
So, represents a lot more. So Niddly is that when I entered, trigger is on the chain. That is why the dice as we move to the side. So Jiang is saying you don't get the and when I say when I enter trigger, it's the Rengar legend when a unit enters trigger that is on the chain.
Doesn't get it just yet because it just does allow Jiang a reaction window essentially.
It's things like, I mean, Gust would still go off. Even if it was, even if it resolved, but that targeting has happened. So now we'll get the Abandoned Hall because we've passed the turn, so we'll be able to get that first spell of the turn trigger, plus the Raven Bloom.
It's going to get bigger.
1. So yeah, it's +2 now. So we'll, when resolving, become +4. Now, do you commit the Rengar here as well and go all the way down the rabbit hole?
He might be thinking about it.
You could play it.
It's like the gambler's fallacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The gold's at the end of the tunnel if you just commit one more unit.
It's, what's it called? Like lost funds or lost like resources. Yeah, exactly. Where you're like, I'm in too deep already. I've just got to keep going. That's how I end up feeling when I'm recycling runes. Like I played against an Ornn yesterday, and I existential dreaded it twice. I was like, I'm recycling. I'm like, it's fine.
Should we just play with no runes?
Yeah, I went down to 1. I won that game.
Brilliant. That is brilliant.
I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
We'll just keep going and going and going.
It's like, you're 20 might. I'm not going to break in that in any other way.
That's not happening.
It's like, get back out. Get out of there.
That's brilliant stuff. So what does Matthew have for the reaction of this Gust?
Oh, Thrill of the Hunt on the Gust.
Interesting.
Trigger. So, Thrill in response to the Gust.
This is where Riftbound gets complex. There's too much stuff on the stack.
means it can come back to the battlefield
Yes.
and buff itself.
Yeah.
Or buff
Nidalee.
the Nidalee, actually. Yeah. Sorry. I'm being crazy. I don't need to... Do not need to do crazy things. If there's a hard bargain, you could repeat it. But then that leaves you tapped out against Matthew. So it looks like we are going to resolve... Ooh, actually, Thriller Hunt to the other battlefield.
Interesting. So you're going to get the on-play. Have we missed the initial Rengar trigger of Nidalee? Has that fizzled, or is that now just a miss?
It was targeting the pit crew.
Ah,
so because the gust happened,
yeah.
it never resolved.
Gotcha.
That was the trigger we were responding
I thought
to.
it was on
No, it's a very fair question because we are into the minutia of this one.
Yeah.
So
and it could matter.
It certainly could. Oh,
one might is the difference.
Yeah.
It's like a multiple might swing there.
Now
From one
Matthew's action. That's another Nidalee.
Is it another Nidalee? Is that an Inferno?
It's a Bryn.
The middle card.
I think it might be an Inferno. It might be. I feel like I should have seen it.
We don't have enough for both, right? So we can only commit to one of these if it is the Inferno.
And I need to... We're late in the day. I need to double check is Moonfall at reaction speed? Or is it action speed? Or is it just...
I'm pretty sure it's reaction, but don't quote me on it.
I'm going to go look at... I just typed in Moon Spell.
There's the second Nidalee being played, so going to get
Moonfall
another...
Action
speed, gotcha.
But were it to be available, that's the exact amount of runes available. So the second Nidalee being played could easily blow out everything.
If there is a Moonfall in hand,
move the pit
back, and then they're all going to get minus.
That would be
like almost like a carbon copy of last game. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's happening.
They always.
Sometimes I hate being wrong. I hate being right.
You can just tell the look on Matthew's face. It's just this nightmare fuel. Look.
Yeah.
So much pain.
You just commit everything into it. And I mean, Matthew had to.
Yeah.
Matthew had to commit more into this in order to, again, you're already down the beginning of the rabbit hole, so you just have to keep going down and hope that you have enough, hope that they don't have it. Forced Jiang to have it. He did have it. And I feel like the door just slams shut from this. We know Matthew's hand. I'm not going to say it because it is quite quiet in here, but it feels like Jiang is in a great position.
Do we feel like because
and that all happened on Matthew's turn?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're about to ask me a question.
I was saying, do we think the initial, the fact that Jiang didn't even bother to move the Diana in as well when he flashed back, was that kind of a sign of the future of like, I actually just don't need this guy. Like, I've got so much gas in my hand.
I actually just know that the student closes this. And now this is, like, how do you come back from this? We know that it's Rengar are the champion zone for one of the battlefields against the full rune stack. Jiang just says, I don't need to do anything on my turn.
There's very little here. That was the turn of the game here, wasn't it, for Matthew? And
Moonfall has done everything. I mean, Matthew may very well just sabotage here just to see the hand, just to confirm that is what's going to happen. And I imagine a fist bump is coming quite quickly after this. Oh, that's even just a top card of a smoke screen. Smoke screen, Superfy, hard buy. That's everything. That's everything you could possibly need to control a game. That is literally it. There's the fist bump. Matthew will concede the round.
Jiang to the finals.
And Moonfall is Matthew's downfall as Jiang will advance to the finals on Diana. Showing exactly how this Diana deck can really put out just really intricate, difficult showdowns to close out this series.
It just showed all of the intricacies of the Diana here in this matchup. Obviously, you can see that Jiang took his time by figuring out the lines, especially in the first game with the double Moonfall. We was like, the game's starting to slow down a bit. And then you see the double Moonfall, like, okay, we understand now why he's taken a little bit longer time to maybe play out an action. The fact that he calculated everything to move all the units in, to make sure that they were the perfect amount of minus might, to make sure that he would wipe out everything. It's just, it was so clean, wasn't it? It was just so clean.
really clean.
Yeah.
Really clean and kind of disgusting at the same time. It's like I've never seen something so clean and so disgusting simultaneously. So that means we have had a Diana advance to a final against a Kha'Zix, which I would not have expected coming into today.
Yes.
Matthew's performance really impressive.
Yeah, he should be really proud of himself. I think, Rengar is no joke of a deck to pilot, and he's managed to get himself into top 4. So
yeah. So we've had some long rounds. We're going to go to a quick break, though, as we get ready for our finals.
Finals coming up. Stay tuned. We're good? Cool. Right, we had to take a little bit of a break to powder our nose and get some refreshments, but we're going straight into the final.
Yeah, I was ready for it to come back to us first. I'm like, good, okay, we're right in.
We're
So
just sending it straight in.
I'm assuming that means that people have been able to see everything up until this point.
Yes.
So
we're catching up.
delving right in. Yeah, this might take us a moment just to go.
Yep.
So it's Diana against Kha'Zix. Jiang and Oliver are finalists here. So where are we at?
So we poured 2 points to Oliver. We've got Fae Folk in the base. We've got Merchant for Jiang. I think the biggest thing that's a bit like, that's a bit of a question mark. I didn't expect that. Is we're seeing Rockfall Path from Diana here. And that's not the most conventional battlefield, but it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? This kind of like anti-ambush, doubling down on kind of like a Vex in the battlefield, right? Units are not able to be played there, so it's really nice addition. I like that. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where I'm like, I got to reread that just at the beginning, make sure
not
that
too common, but it does make a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, it's going to have a massive impact in this instance.
So Fae Folk's been buffed up by the combat trick, pulling in the Traveling Merchant's going to get a nice discard draw. So we decided that hard bargain is not going to be relevant in this matchup.
There is a lot in the trash already from Jiang.
I've just noted, how many runes does Jiang have?
Down to 2.
That's
so
not good.
Something happened.
Something's gone wrong.
Those of you in chat have seen the game. We have not, but I'm seeing a lot in the graveyard already.
Yes.
Looks like Ride the Winds that... Oh, Singularity is in the graveyard as well. Don't know whether it was used or just discarded, but... Ooh, two punch firsts in hand for Oliver.
I like that.
Yep. Pretty good if you are having control of the battlefields and maintaining it and keeping Jiang very low on units. There's a Void Assault in hand. Saw that used a couple times earlier today.
Yes.
To massive effect.
Yeah, we saw one of Oliver's best of 3 Zo today that me and Frankie casted, and another Kha'Zix player. And that card is so good. So unbelievably strong.
You may not have the answer to this because we are in the finals. It's been a long day. Is Void Assault's text actually correct, or is there an errata to it? So I'm assuming you need both a friendly unit and an enemy unit. Well, it says move a friendly unit, then move an enemy unit. I would imagine you have to have both.
Yeah, I'm unsure if it's been errated, but it's probably one of those swings where it probably has.
Yeah.
From all the instances we've been seeing it today, it just basically acts as like a double charm. Is how we've been seeing it being played. I've not seen it in any instance where
it's only moving a friendly unit.
Only
moving.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have to move the friendly unit, right? It's
it wouldn't surprise me if it has been tinkered with, but I don't study every errata, unfortunately.
Yeah, same. It's hard to hold them all. It's just one of those things where I'm like, you either know it or you don't.
Yeah. Like the fact
I
that,
don't.
Yeah, Jiang's got no units. He's got no champion unit. That's already gone. He's got 4 runes. This is
is not good.
This is nightmare.
This is a really bad situation to be up against the Kha'Zix as well, who, we've just seen Jiang go through a Rengar.
Yes.
Which does have some similar play pattern. Some aspects of like, okay, you're getting the ambush, you're getting units out.
I think the introduction of purple instead of red, we kind of know purple's a strong colour. You've got so many consistency pieces in this colour. I mean, the fizzes, the stack decks, right?
The other half of that is like you go down the rabbit hole of, okay, you cast a lot of spells, Jiang. Now, Star-Crossed.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. Rebuke it.
Yeah.
Whatever version of getting rid of units. Speaking of which, one of those in hand now is Oliver. In a really strong situation. 5
points to 1. Whatever's happened, what we missed has caused this to happen, and I can almost guarantee you that this lead is going to be very difficult for Jiang to come back from, I think.
Yeah, almost certainly insurmountable, especially Rengar being played into the back line. It's going to be 2 small units played with a merchant and a student, and now kind of cross your fingers and hope. And honestly, Oliver probably just moves back to base.
Yeah, he's just going to stack himself up. He's going to ready himself and just wait for.
Because you don't need to hold.
No, not
just
really.
Know you can conquer.
Yeah.
And after 2 long rounds.
This is a very, very quick game.
Fast game
We
one.
could just be seeing Void Assault blowouts now. We could just be like, cool, Void Assault, we're going to go in, we're going to kill one of your units. You're now just down to a merchant, which isn't going to get bigger.
And that's the thing, neither of these units are going to contest any of the actual combat situations where just passing with everything up. Could be anything in hand.
Yeah.
Could be more Kazakhs. Could be another Rengar. Could be punch first.
Everything. Yeah, we've seen punch first, haven't we? Yeah. So if GM wants to try and get tricky with any kind of Moonfall shenanigans, Oliver's almost certainly got it covered with the amount of punch first that we've seen in his hand from before, right? This is going to be a bit of a sore spot because if we're using Rockfall Path this early and we've just had an absolute blowout game, then you would have imagined that this is a nice battlefield for us to have against the Kazakhs, and it's already going to be out of contention now for the rest of this series.
Yeah, you would have thought, this is the one that you want to put up the fight on. Now it's going to be Merchant rummaging.
Yeah, like this main board gear hate kind of.
Yeah. Of course, we're in game one.
Yeah, game one.
I've just come out of the last best of 3 thinking, wait,
this is actually game 4.
Yeah. It's been a long YouTube.
Obviously getting rid of all this gear hate in the main board, which is just useless, isn't it?
Yeah, but now you do have to fight off this Rengar. So we'll generate resources.
Even if it gets bounced, it's...
So...
Yeah, here we go.
We saw Double Moonfall really wreck.
Yeah.
In our previous series. So Moonfall is going to bring the Rengar over to the other battlefield. So we stage another showdown, I believe. This showdown will complete with the Merchant. So then one will go staged and not active yet with the Rengar and the Raven Blue.
So the Zorn triggers has to finish, and now I believe it goes over to the pending showdown.
Yeah.
The Rengar's the attacker, so I think Oliver's going to have
the priority in this situation. Again, another one of those weird ones where you get priority on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Surprise attacker.
Yes. That is the Rengar, quite literally.
Quite literally. But it's a surprise to the Rengar.
Yeah. Oliver's like, I'm the attacker.
I just want it to be a surprise party fiddlesticks.
Oh my god, please.
Oh, this is like a moonfall. Oh, back-to-back moonfalls. Pulls in the Fae Folk. Hang on a second, though. Fae Folk moving to a battlefield.
It's a move trigger, right?
He
could move in Merchant if he decides, right? I believe.
It's a May. It is a May trigger, so yeah,
Oliver thinks he can blow both out.
Moving to a battlefield. Yeah, that is the problem, though, right? Is you're giving another rummage if you do that. So it really does depend on what the rest is. Okay, Rebuke.
Yeah, Rebuke main deck is a blowout here.
Now with the temptation of being to take the Fae Folk trigger. Previously, obviously, you can't now that the Rebuke is on the chain because that is an action. Roll the dice. See how tough the Traveling Merchant is. Okay, Stupefy.
Jim's going to dig a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we could get, Game 1 goes to Oliver. Yeah, like you said, we missed what happened at the early stages of the game, but whatever the viewers have seen has caused this monstrosity to occur. It's been a massive blowout.
For once, there is no doubt that chat know more about this game than we did. Normally, as a caster, I'm like, some people in chat might know more than me. And this one, all of them did. We, as you said, we had like some long rounds before, but our players, understandably, the most important thing of the day is getting through all the games and making sure that players are in the best of condition to play out of finals. As much as I wish it was all about us. It's not really.
It's not. What the hell?
Yeah,
what did I sign up for?
Exactly. You're like, I want the fame and the glory.
Let's see if I can have a little look at Oliver's list here to consider what possibilities we might have of going in.
Yeah, let's have a little look.
Couple gusts. We've got Sabotage, we've got a Shovel, We've got a Akshan and some more Kha'Zixes.
I feel like Gust might be.
Gust is a good option.
The only problem is, I kind of have to do it last when there's a
Yeah.
big old chain on the students.
Obviously, the Gear Hate's probably coming out.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So you can see like Sabotage going in and probably the extra Kha'Zixes. I'd imagine that's a extremely good unit.
You don't care about last rights.
No.
So, not doing that. Okay. Yeah, interesting. I'm really interested to see whether anyone at Utrecht is playing Kha'Zix. You get these weird pockets of meta where people kind of know what other people are playing, and you're like, I think I match up really well when you're local, and then you go to an RQ and people start playing pocket picks. Although if you're aiming for best of Kha'Zix, it's actually not a bad shout.
I know lucky enough to have Oliver in Team Nexus, so I know he's been always a massive fan of like he's playing what he enjoys or what he plays in League. So as soon as Rengar and Kha'Zix got spoiled, he's like, right, I'm going to be playing these two decks. So he's been playing lots of games on Rengar and Kha'Zix, even before the most recent performance of Kha'Zix at the RQ. He's always been playing these two for this set, so it's something that he's very familiar with.
That's why I can't wait for Radiance, because then I get to play Seraphine.
There we go.
We have no idea whether she's going to be good or not, but if I can sing my way through a game, that is all. As long as I can be really toxic and obnoxious to my opponents throughout the entire game, that is all I really care about.
And sing while doing it.
Don't mistake her for her lyrics. So Jiang is going to open with a student. There's the Sabotage we saw come in from Oliver.
No turn 2 for Oliver.
Ooh, painful.
It's
And
not
doesn't
what
want to
we want
deramp
to see.
either.
No.
That's obviously more painful if that happens.
That's quite unfortunate. So we've got Targons and the Forbidden Waste again.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Gus.
So,
Oh, here's the danger. Okay. No,
Could have been the sideboard cards that we were seeing.
I was going to say, here could be the danger of gusting to begin.
Yes.
If you do want to, contribute anything to pumping that Raven Bloom. Well, I probably don't want to at that point.
So even if we didn't get a 2-drop here, the Gust has kind of evened it out, right?
Slow things down.
Yeah.
Vex being now a thing in this matchup, Oliver has to consider what the next turn looks like, because if that Vex gets to a battlefield...
You've got one, so do I.
Anything you can do, I can do equally as good, but slightly slower because I'm a turn behind, because you're playing first.
We get to have a little look at the hand now. Oh, the singularity.
There's one option, and you will take it. But
so double Hui, Fizz, and another student. That's quite scary.
That is scary. Although I will say, I guess, you draw into more options with Hui anyway. I was going to say that's the amount of cards you'll end up seeing.
Yes.
Is insane. So, going over to Jiang's turn. I see people leaving the building, so we're going to have to be even more quiet.
Yes, we are quite literally some of the only people left now with the top table on the end of the store. So maybe some ASMR activation.
ASMR on the Riftbound table. On Public Talk Radio. Feel like I'm on like Radio 5 Live or something like that.
There's the way, as expected.
Yeah. We are, unfortunately at this point, I know people like casters to predict cards and talk about hands a little bit more. We're probably going a little bit more into the calling what is happening moment, just for the safety of what is a finals game. Do not want to say anything that is going to end up turning the tide of this one. Not that there's too much that I would know that our finals players don't, but we have the information what is in hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've been. I know when you get to Top Cut and some large tournaments, you're presented with deck lists of the opponents. I don't know if they've been given a list of each other's decks. It's a possibility, but I'm unsure.
Yeah, better to assume not.
Yes.
As moves over to targets. Jiang's like, you sure you don't want to go over to?
Forbidden Waste, you sure?
You sure you want to untap too?
It is quite good. Here comes the Kha'Zix. Pretty good unit.
Yeah, although it feels like we're you've just seen a bunch of units.
Yeah.
So you know that Hui is getting
massive.
more sizable. So now is just the factor of which direction Jiang takes it.
So there's nothing in the discard. Fizz is basically dead
just
for
a
all
three.
intents and purposes.
Three-man
Yeah,
unit
just
at this
just a
point.
dude. it's just a unit. So that's unlikely to be developed this turn. We know he's got a second Hui, which was seen with the Sabo and another student as well, right? So you imagine this could potentially be another development turn if he doesn't want to risk Hui and leave it into the battlefield. Or you can start deciding if we want to go to Targons. But it's still a risk, right? Because what if the card that we draw is dead card? Then we're actually losing
there's
Hui, right?
a lot of things that
It's only going to 8, and there's a lot more. I think there's 10 on there with the Vex, right?
Yeah, and of course this isn't the Rengar that we're playing against. We're playing against Kha'Zix, which does have more spells in it. So you're not playing so much around ambush is turned off.
And Jiang's already seen a rebuke towards the end of the last game, so he's got to consider it, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that you have to consider from this situation. Again, we may be a little bit more quiet and a little bit less active on predictions just around what the players are doing. It will just be, as you said, a little bit more on the develop side.
Yeah. It's quite relevant that, maybe it's not too relevant because we've not seen a tremendous amount of cards that use blue runes, but Jiang's got no more blue runes.
Yeah, that is fair.
It's in case another singularity comes.
So moves with Hui.
Makes sense.
Yeah, just going to get the trigger off the draw discard off Hui. Mostly just to see. Fizz is like an option of what you get rid of, but you also get.
You need to
see the
start
next
putting
card.
stuff in there just to start getting it going, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Although it looks like there might be a reaction to that trigger from Hui that is on the chain. Of course, that is if it was just Hui moving, there would be no. That's stupid. I was going to say if it was a different unit, there would be no trigger. But because Hui has a when I move effect.
Once ability triggered, it creates a chain, right? Yeah, so it allows the opponent to play any kind of reactions that they may or may not want to do.
Well, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But of course, remember we have the Vex on the battlefield.
Yes.
So
it
we'll turn off any ambush.
Yeah.
So we're going to let that resolve. The Hui trigger does resolve, discards a stacked deck. Just to draw one.
Interesting.
So that means you value. Okay, so you can fizz.
I'd imagine that's
flashback.
probably going to be what he wants to do here. Because it allows him to draw when he pitches the.
Yeah, exactly that.
Gets to draw, and then if he decides he wants to fizz, he essentially circumvents the fact that he's thrown it away.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the other things that playing these purple decks with fizz is such a different thing where you're like, actually, I'm not getting rid of it. I still have it as a use.
It's just my graveyard's now an extension of my hand.
Yeah.
Which is always a good position you want to be in TCGs.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's ever gone wrong when you have access to your graveyard.
My hand is actually now 30 cards. Ooh, here comes the Void Assault.
So, what is the move here? It's move one and then move the opponent.
Yeah, I think he pointed.
I think it was.
I'm not sure if he pointed at the Vex or the Way. Because he hasn't recycled.
It does also move units away.
Yes.
So it's not just together. Could also be being used to open up the battlefield.
Yes.
And because Kha'Zix will then be in a showdown against a single unit when the spell resolves, Kha'Zix will get the buff.
Yes.
The +2, I should say, not the buff. The empowerment of +2.
So it would be 6 into the if Hui does get moved back and then the
6
Kha'Zix
into 4.
comes 6 into 4, but with the Forbidden Waste trigger, the Vex would become the defender, so it would go down to 2.
And we know that the only card that wasn't seen so far is whatever was drawn from pitching stacked deck. So
it's unlikely,
you know there's a good chance that there aren't so many spells in hand. It's a 1 in, whatever chance of drawing into a smokescreen or a stupefy or a stupefy wouldn't do it either. You'd have to chain them.
I think we're just getting a judge call because I think this is like the 10th judge call I've seen for Void Assault. So like, judge, is that legal? Can he do that? It's like, yeah, you can actually.
But
do
there
that.
will also be a draw discard trigger on
Yes, there'll be a Hui
so you will
movement
get
right
one
there.
extra check.
Yeah.
Which, if it wasn't a useful spell, you get another check.
Yeah. I think they're just establishing the complexities of the card.
I'm assuming that is the conversation is around whether when Kha'Zix moves Hui, because to be fair, it does say move a friendly unit, then move an enemy unit.
Yes. So are we establishing if the Kha'Zix trigger is when it becomes the attacker, or is it kind of like a proving ground GE where it always constantly checks? I think it's a attacker trigger, isn't it?
It is, but I believe because of Hot for I believe that the showdown becomes staged and is pending.
There we go.
And so do not take this as gospel truth, but I'm pretty sure that you have to resolve the Void Assault first.
Gotcha.
And then you move to the beginning of the showdown, at which point you get the when I attack, when I defend triggers.
So obviously we can see, thank God Ollie's using some nice clear buffs for us all to observe. So the Kha'Zix has got the +2.
I don't know whether I can plug who makes those ones, but I think I know where they're from because they're local to me in Hove.
Yeah.
You can get the same token.
Buy the same token?
Yeah, I know. I was going to... I didn't say the full name. You could buy it.
Listen, Rift Round's a confusing game, so especially when you're playing with maybe some newer players and locals, these things are really, really handy to just make things really obvious. There's only so much dice can be thrown around and be like, no, this is actually a buff. What do you mean? No, this is just.
I love the big chunky stream ones that you get. Turn 'em Sideways made some great ones with the twisting dial. I have some of them. They're really good, but they only go up to 4. I'm like,
oh,
you go more than that now.
Yeah, get more. Oh, my guy's 10 more.
Give me a D20 that turns. All right, I blinked and we've rode the wind.
Yeah, so we rode the wind back over to Targon's.
Yeah.
So we've basically just gone, I'm going to go to your battlefield and I'm going to go to your old battlefield. We've just swapped.
The not real switcheroo.
Yeah. The quite literal switcheroo.
The stack deck looks for decision. But that means we've got another showdown pending.
Yes.
And it means Jan can score on Oliver's turn.
I don't even know whose turn it is. There's so much going on whose turn is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Oliver's turn. Now it's going to be a stack deck from Jan saying, hey, we're still in action phase.
Yeah.
So it does mean that Oliver has yeah, it must be Oliver's turn because the Void Assault was cast.
It's getting windy outside.
There, we did ride the wind. Our producer's making the same joke. I'll steal the joke and put it on broadcast. Don't worry, I'm shameless like that. So, that is a pass.
Yes.
So it was...
So Jiang's back down a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. +1 is... Is that a persistent +1, or is that... I'm trying to think about what was cast.
So I think that's the Kha'Zix Legend buff, I'd imagine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can spend 1 XP to buff, then it's 2 to move a friendly unit back, right?
Yeah, you are correct.
I think so.
That is how that works.
And
I will say...
There is some other stuff in it that when it does something, it gets XP, but...
I will say, I do love the tokens that they make. I personally do prefer the actual buff card, though. From my personal preference.
I do like buff tokens.
Visually, I think it's consistent.
Yeah. Sometimes people will use that for like the Rengar buff.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean.
So, Jiang looking to stabilize after quite a roundabout.
Yeah, that was a bit of a turbulent turn. There was a lot going on last time, wasn't there? So let's see if both players are going to be like, let's take a breather.
Yeah, let's stabilize a little bit. Trigger for Hui.
Yep. Can he do that, Judge?
What?
I think it was just a singular. trigger that he was maybe thinking about not doing it, but then decided to do it and then not do it and then do it. So I think it's just a Titanic trigger on the Hawaii there, and he's decided to move back the Vex. You got point tempo, nothing to rush. Obviously, Ollie didn't develop too much to turn before. I think he passed with 4 runes up just in case Jiang had any nonsense he wanted to do for some possible reactions to that. I think Sabotage is quite a nice card here now.
Seeing double a lot.
Yeah.
Only 1 rune up, so Titana will
Some
end up
XP
dropping.
for Kha'Zix.
I can just hear furious card hand shuffle.
Yeah.
Flicking. You get banned in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Whoever's doing that.
Stop.
That's one of my favorite and funniest rules changes of recent years.
No shuffling allowed. Stop
No
it.
shuffling. Again, I think you can probably, from the lack of background noise, make out that we are deep into the late stages of the tournament in this store.
Everyone's pretty much been kicked out the store now.
Yeah.
Get out. It's past 10. Off you go.
So that was Kha'Zix Legend, the other one used to
Yes.
spend XP, bring back the exhausted unit. So 4 to 4.
So Rengar and base, I think that is?
Yeah, that is Rengar.
The alt art Rengar.
Yep. So
Stacking up,
3
playing
out.
playing a little bit more methodical now.
Yeah.
Double Hui that's a bit of a nightmare fuel though, because it's going to accrue so much value, and then Jiang's probably going to go to 6 points here potentially, and he's going to get a Targon's trigger and draw 2 cards and sculpt his hand to this winning turn potentially the turn after.
Which, with this much in the way of economy available, the runes up, it becomes really difficult.
It does, yeah.
To break. This, unlike the last game where we kind of dropped in and saw Jiang with no runes available. This is the option. This is runes, cards, everything.
He's been able to recover, hasn't he, from and ride the storm, as it were. He's discarding a Hui there. Doesn't feel like he needs a third one.
No, I don't think you do at this point.
Nah.
I mean, there's going to be so many different cards that can, either draw into more options, bounce things, present, lines that,
Vex apathetic.
and that's certainly going to make every rune that Jiang has available even more punishing.
Yeah.
As it's going to be untapped 2. Oliver looks like he's reacting to Targon's trigger.
Possibly.
Because there is a trigger that goes
Yes,
on
it is.
stack.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at in the turn sequence, which I think is correct looking at the hand.
Yeah.
I think you have to. I think if you don't deal with what is in front of you in this moment, it becomes incredibly difficult.
It is going to be a nightmare for Ollie if this Vex apathetic lands. Yeah, this is a really nice reaction play here, right at the end of Jiang's turn.
The only thing is there aren't that many things that you're wanting to bounce of your own.
Whoa. Interesting.
Okay, so reaction comes through. 3+1. Star-Crossed of their own. So is going to be able to push back one of the other 2. While the other thing you can do with this is if you layer Star-Crossed into Star-Crossed, you can target your own one that's already been targeted by the opponent's one. So they'll still both go off. You only lose 1 unit, your opponent loses 2.
Right, I see.
So you're essentially trading.
Yeah, so you can still target one of their other units, and then in your same units, you're getting +1.
You layer it up, and you're just like, sure, fine. I'm happy with that. I'll pay 3 and 1 to bounce one of your units.
I mean, Ollie's only got 3 units. You're taking 2/3
it's
of them.
punishing.
That's really rough.
Oliver's opted into saying, I'll get rid of a unit. Yeah, that's exactly what happens here, that layering. Now it leaves only a Vex cheerless.
Yeah. So obviously Ollie's got the Rengar champion unit now in hand, which can be played at, well, not really actually, not with this Vex still on the battlefield, right?
Yeah, that's
essentially just turning into a bit of a dead card, isn't it? There's not much to be played, I think.
I really don't know that you can represent enough with 3 runes up still.
Yeah.
Because you've got to think through the options. Hypothetically, is it okay? It's going to even just show from the sabotage.
2 moonfalls.
2 moonfalls.
Nightmare.
I mean, you've got to look at that and be like, oof. I mean, you do know that the moonfall is the only thing.
Yes. There's no cantrips. There's no more bounces.
But
it's just a moonfall.
Enough.
I say just.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the best spells in the deck.
So you say, okay, we'll take the trade. What have you got in hand?
Forbidden Waste makes it Vexor 2.
Yes,
so
of course,
he's able
when
to
it's,
get it,
when it's defending.
It's defending alone.
That took me a minute. We talked about battlefields earlier.
Yeah. It's a really good one for Karzik's going second.
So now it
really
has
strong.
to be like I guess you're passing and letting him say it's 7. Go to 7 is like horrific. I mean, Moonfall is...
Yeah, Moonfall's coming, yeah.
Coming, yeah.
Ollie's just picking it up.
Okay, we're going to go to game 3.
Yeah. Now Ollie's getting the opportunity to play his go first battlefield to see if this can swing the game. Everyone's getting their money's worth today. 3 games in the final.
Yeah.
No easy games.
No, not at all. As Jiang definitely had the better of that turnaround and came into game 1 and it was a very precarious position.
Whatever happened went horribly wrong.
Something happened. It's just like walking into a crime scene and you're like,
something's
piece it together. There. All right, Sherlock, here we go. Reconstruct what happened. So we go to game 3.
Yes. So I imagine there's probably not going to be too much sideboard tinkering. You imagine that would have mostly been done the game before. Maybe there's some specific cards that each player might be wanting, deciding if they're most likely to go first or second, so that might change a couple of cards, but you'd imagine most of the sideboarding's probably already been done from game 2, right?
Yeah, and unlike we were talking about sideboarding earlier, when maybe game 3 you're looking to bring back in 2 drops if you want to play. This is not really the way this deck plays, so you're not massively, focused on that. Yes, they're important, but you probably didn't sideboard them out for game 2 anyway. They're equally as important.
It's raised.
So...
Abandoned and arenas. So obviously Ollie did miss his 2-drop last turn, which is you can still win without hitting your 2-drop. It was still a playable game, but Rippon's such a tempo heavy game, right? You miss that 2-drop, it can be a nightmare. The difference between Karzik's winning a game if they 2-drop Fey Folk versus not is probably a massive difference in it. Yeah. The delta on the wins there is probably going to be a massive spike.
So we are down to this, into the final game.
Last game.
Our Spellbound Showdown. A case is on the line between these two. That's not what you want off the top. Never didn't have it.
Always on the top.
Didn't even
Ollie
put it
was
to hand and shuffle it in.
Sweating.
Didn't even shuffle it into hand. Unabashedly being like, got it. Never didn't have it. Dear. I'm that guy that's like, yeah, always have it. Always have it.
It's always on the top. It's always on the top. That's a relief though, because 2 games out of 3, if Ollie doesn't draw a 2-drop, it's such a rough game.
It shuts down like the diameter. Jiang has to think about, okay, what do I actually do with my first
Like you said, it's unlikely that the Diana is going to develop Diana, right? So
and now Tide Turner is like, I have to develop something. Tide Turner is like the most acceptable thing.
Yes.
That if you spend resources to get rid of it, I'm probably the happiest I'm going to be from this situation. And of course, Fey Folk is a May trigger, will take the trigger, and that tells you that a Nidalee is... Oh, sorry, Karzik's. Gotta remember, Karzik's is in the champion zone, and it's not a Rengar. We've seen so much Rengar today that typically it is the Rengar...
Purple Rengar.
These players have been playing for about 12 hours now, so had a 30-minute lunch break, so a little bit.
Not bad, not bad.
And actually they had a rest during our Rengar. And,
they did. I think everyone took a nap during that game.
Yeah. Everybody got a couple of extra minutes
Just not
in
us.
that 90-minute. No, not us. We've been going. It's all good.
Yeah. This is
what we're here to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is what we're here for. This is the more conventional line from Kha'Zix, right? This is what really swings the tempo, the Fey Folk into just the ambushed Kha'Zix unit, right? So
Yeah.
it's a really ridiculous swing that this Kha'Zix can do.
It really is thematically appropriate, where you're like, oh, okay, stack deck.
See what we can get.
Can you find anything to
He's
do?
only going to have one up afterwards, so it does limit the
Too many
choices.
options. It's not like you can really like affect this too much,
Yeah,
but
that's
just
true.
utilizing the resources where available, just in case. Yeah.
A free resource from the Diana Legend is
Yeah.
nothing to scoff at, is it?
No, exactly. Is going to be replaced by the buff from the Kha'Zix Legend as you go over to Jiang's turn.
Defends for 7 now all alone. Not bad.
Yeah, wow, that is significant.
It's not Master in disguise, is it?
Who is this Kha'Zix at this point?
I do that thing, not you.
Would have got away with it if it wasn't for these stupid kids. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so we've got rid of the Fey Folk, which indicates that, the Diana can be established here because it's a little bit more safe.
But the thing about that is Diana is not that impactful of a unit on its own. I think it's more just a safe going second play.
It's a nice developed unit without power, right? That's what we love to see.
Yeah, okay, you get the predict and that type of thing when it goes into the showdown, but it's not like you're like, oh yeah, my Diana is here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's still good. It's still there.
It just gives a nice thing for Jiang to do that doesn't necessarily play a card from his hand. It's still able to develop something. It feels like you're doing something without it being punishing at all to anything that we've got.
Some key things that we did just spy. Again, it's quiet in here. I'm not going to say the names of cards. So those of you seeing at home, if you're watching the hands, you certainly have seen a couple of spells that we have been keeping our eyes on the entire time today.
Nice little diplomat just to supplement the experience for Ollie.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to look at what options available. This is where the Kha'Zix limited to only exhausted units makes it tricky with the legend ability. Kind of, it rewards you for going in and conquering and then moving back rather than holding.
Yeah. Void Assault here could be a bit of a blowout for Jiang. Ollie wants to just continue this pressure, right?
Yeah.
He's going to move himself over to Abandoned and move to Diana.
Yep. Is again this when Kha'Zix is able to like crush the small units.
Yeah,
it's really hard to play against.
Yeah, it's really hard to get over it. 7 white defending alone is really good.
So now the question is, does Jiang have enough in the way of combat tricks? Because now it's going to go up to 7, as you said, 7 white plus.
It's going to get a buff
from the trigger
pull from the battlefield as well, almost using Diana's battlefield against them.
One of the things that we didn't see in the Rengar matchup that the Kha'Zix had more access to.
Top Texer ride the wind here. So he could potentially ride the wind over to Arena's Greatest, save his unit and score on his opponent's turn.
Which is significant. Ooh, has a flash anyway, so we'll save the ride the wind.
Yep. For a rainy day.
It's a windy, rainy day. Just like being in the UK. Any point other than the last week.
Yeah, we had some hot weather for a week and then...
The sun came out. It's gone now.
It's gone now.
So we'll see it again in
Back
next
to where
year.
it belongs.
So Kha'Zix will move back, though. I think that's the other important thing in this situation. So Oliver's saying, you know what? I'm going to
keep my material alive. Yeah.
I'm going to make you have the spells to pull me to the battlefield.
Yeah. So obviously Jiang did have the opportunity there to potentially ride the wind over and score multiple points here to where the point tempo wouldn't be as large. He's obviously decided that I'm not really too worried about Oliver going to 4 here and I can still kind of play my game at the pace I want to play at.
I feel like the difficulty with that is so much of, in my mind, what Jiang has to do here is develop more units.
Yes.
That if you, I guess you could have pulled Diana back on your turn as well. So you're not leaving her unprotected, but there is a sense of like shields being down
Yeah.
at the end of this turn if Jiang is going to dig out of it. Yeah, I was about to say, about to grab all of those for... Oh. Okay. Ignore what I was saying.
Yep.
Singularity,
Sideboard special.
yeah, is going to turn this game quite...
You can see why the flash was used.
Flash is being used on our playmat right now.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see whether it comes back on or not. So back over to Oliver's turn. We know the ambush units are there in the deck.
Yes.
But how much of it? How much of it is in hand? I don't see a lot.
No.
That was a lot of spells.
Singularity was massive blowout for Ollie here.
Huge turn of events. So there was one. Okay, there was a Vex.
We can buff it up to 5 at least.
Yeah.
Use some of this XP that we've got floating around.
But it's slowing him down.
It is, and that's exactly where we don't want to be as Kha'Zix. We want to keep pushing the point tempo. That singularity has really slowed this game down for Dinah.
Now this one's going to be the way.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to be played last turn.
Yeah. So now we go over to Oliver's turn.
Yep.
Readies everything up. We obviously don't want to give away the move.
No.
Okay. You don't want to opt into that.
No.
Okay, showdown begins. It's non-combat showdown for now, so Jiang is going to take this opportunity to stack deck.
Yep.
Again, another thing, newer players, you've got to utilize those showdowns even if you're not contesting them. You still do get that opportunity.
You still use your actions and your reactions when it gets passed over to you. And it feels like you're playing the stack deck for free, doesn't it? When
it does. You're like, yeah, I'll do it on your turn.
Yeah, why not? Here comes the second Void Assault here.
Oh, wow, okay, so moving...
It's pushing point tempo.
Yeah, moving over.
Arena's greatest. I wonder if he's still just going to get an abandoned hall trigger while he's played it on that battlefield first. It does look like Ollie is indicating to it, so you potentially do. I'm unsure.
Okay.
He's doing the Diana trigger first.
Yeah, the Diana trigger will end up taking that down. So it goes to 6 points. Now can...
Is there another one?
Do the 2 experience, pull it back.
Plenty of experience to play with.
Yep. We'll develop Illusion.
6 points here. This is really nice for Ollie, actually.
Yeah, here we go. Here is the... Oh, wait. That's a -1.
Starting to buff it.
Interesting. So not... Valuing the hold, saying, yeah, I'm going to make you fight me.
I have seen Oliver's cards in hand, which I won't speak too loudly about, but I'd be quite happy if I was Oliver with what I've got on my hand at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you're all running into things like hard bargain would...
I can understand why we maybe wouldn't want to continue to push the medal with our possible options with how many runes we had up. Yeah, you are right. We are possibly getting into hard bargain territory here. So the Hui's discarding a student to buff himself up to 8 to contest the battlefield that Ollie's on. Ollie's going to have to send the
rebuke. I'm pretty sure is the card you were talking about.
Yeah.
Of the card in hand.
There is one more here if Jiang does decide to potentially attempt to counter this, that Oliver has sequenced incredibly well.
So now, what does Jiang have in hand? That's 3.
Starcross potentially.
No, 2 plus 1. Okay, yeah, Starcross.
I don't think Oliver has an answer for that, unfortunately.
So again, though, we'll use the benefit of you know, rebuking already the unit that is there.
Like you said, layering it on.
But I'm trying to think. Kha'Zix.
So if Lucian... oh no, because it will... There's no way to sequence Lucian
That's
and
what I'm checking.
Kha'Zix, yeah.
Because it's not
Because
a
it's a
react.
conquer effect.
And also, Kha'Zix's legend ability is not a reaction speed.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the same
Yeah,
thing. So I was
no,
double
I think
checking.
it is, yeah.
So it will be the conquer.
Go to
But
7.
we know there are other abilities. If there's already the win, maybe no, not.
I think there's a fizz as well in Oliver's hand, potentially.
Yeah, there is.
And we already know that
is.
there's a Void Assault in the grave as well.
Which means I think we're closing in.
Potentially,
It is going to be Void Assault to bring.
And then Lucian's going to
to
go
the
over.
one battlefield. Lucian will go to
We're not
the
even gonna
other
contest,
one.
we're just
not even
gonna-
going to contest it. So now it's just down to what. With 2 runes available, we obviously know that in the archetypes there are options available for Jiang, but are they in hand? Does Jiang have a way to stop the conquer for 8? Jiang will pay 2. Ride the wind! Ride the wind's Vex back over. Because that's it. There's the punch first. The punch first will do it as Oliver takes the series 2-1. Will be crowned winner of the Spellbound Showdown. What
Unbelievable
a performance. Kha'Zix taking down Spellbound Showdown.
All the way from Bristol, Oliver Simmons. What a legend.
That is quite the result.
Yes.
Would not have expected Kha'Zix coming into today, but clearly showing the strength of the mobility, the ambush, and having ride the wind, like combat tricks and rebuke and stuff like that. Just the ability to control both battlefields very well. Very, very strong performance.
I always find it so fascinating when a new set comes out in the CCG, especially in Riftbound, how quickly the old cards are forgotten. Rebuke is still a ridiculously good card.
Yeah, that is very true, and that means Oliver is the winner of the winner case aspect of Spellbound Showdown. What a fun day! What a fun day of lots of stuff. We had a
massively long day of Riftbound.
Yeah, a long day. We saw some Jacks.
Yes,
doing well. We saw some Rengar. We saw some Kha'Zix. We saw plenty of things.
Plenty of the bug.
Plenty of the bug. Congratulations to Oliver. Jiang on Diana ending up in 2nd place, but nevertheless will have earned a lot of respect.
Commiserations, but it was a very good series. You could see the high level of play why these 2 players both got to the final, right? So
certainly so.
Definitely some great stuff.
All that is left to do is to wrap up the day. And we'd say if you are anywhere near London, come over to Spellbound Games. If you're looking for singles, they also sell them online as well. I want to say thank you to Kane and then Blevins and Frankie who
all to the casters for all chipping in at various parts of the day. So appreciate everyone putting a significant amount of effort in for this event.
And thank you to the team at Spellbound for having us. I'm sure we will be here with new events. I know they were just talking about their next set of events coming a little bit later in the year. So we'll give you all that information online. Follow Spellbound on all of their social media. We are done here. Congratulations to Oliver on Kha'Zix winning the Spellbound Showdown. We will see you at the next event.